All right, hello, hello, hello. Greetings and welcome in, everyone. Hello, Brad. Welcome, welcome, welcome. My name is Harrier Citadel, avian alien sentinel of Fort Misthaven, perpetrator of creative chaos and general maker of things. Welcome in, welcome in. Yay! We are here again. We're here again. I hope everyone had a good Thursday. Hope you're doing okay. Yeah, I'm doing okay. I'm doing okay. I'm doing okay. I have gotten my head screwed on straight again now. I have gotten my head screwed on straight again. So, we are continuing our entry for Wilhelm van der Bos's art challenge, because I promised myself that I would finish that. I would do one every month this year. That was like my personal art commitment to myself that I wanted to absolutely keep up. And so we are going to be continuing with that. So I've been working on that in the Discord a little bit today as well as some lefty practice. Which was unreliable, because oh my word, is that arm underutilized for that. But we are getting places. We're getting places. There's also other new stuff, which I did announce in the Discord as well, but I will bring it up a bit later. In stream as well, as we get closer to the end of things for the day. But let us head right over, because we are on a shorter day, so there's not actually all that much time to get a lot of things done. So let's park over there and we can yap as we go, right? Okay, so since we ended stream last time, nice, good luck getting that practice. And yeah, we're working on it. It's exercise. It's exercise. Ooh, and the lizard looks good, thank you. Yes, in the Discord today I was coloring the lizard, and half of why it took me so long to just color the lizard was because I was trying to do as much of that lefty as possible. But I ended up needing to do all of the edges of the markings in my strong arm. So we are, let me actually just hide the shading so that we can actually see it a little bit more. So I was working on getting the coloration on our lizard and the scales thing. Wanted to look actually lizardish. And a little bit designed. So I'm pretty happy with how it came out. So now what we're doing is we're working on our shading. Looks amazing and lizardy! Yay! It looks lizardy! Woohoo! Goals achieved. Check. Yes. So what we are presently aiming for, I believe I was using this brush, yes, is I'm just adding a little bit of texture in a couple of places. And adding a bit of a lighting scenario. To get this pretty much sorted and ready. Basically what I'm aiming for is a little bit of a primary backlight, and then any frontal lighting being bounce light, basically, from the environment. So we're gonna have with there's this big open patch of sky, really. So I want to really bring in that brightness. Hi, hello, welcome in. Good to see you. How goes? Okay, so first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just keep on adding a little bit of this scale texture to the back. Rhea in glasses mode again, I see. Yes, indeed. Shiny! Woohoo! Yes, doing good. How about you? I'm doing well. I'm doing well. We've had a little bit of a wild day. I've been working on rendering Lizard, or coloring Lizard, and putting together a couple of new things, actually. Hold up, I just want to check that I've got everything actually fully functional, because I need to just make 100% certain before I be completely on at ease for now. Because I think something... Okay, it is, but both are working. Both are working. Great. Okay, cool. I just needed to check that Twitter had actually taken the stream. There. Yay. Looking great. Very impactful. Yay! Thank you. Yeah, I've been doing some setups on a bunch of things today. As well, so we've had a bit of a busy day. Like a surprisingly busy day. Getting our challenge entry further down the line, and now I also see, news. News time. I'm going to repeat this a couple of times over, just in case you didn't see it on the social medias. We have channel memberships now, not via YouTube, but via Fourth Wall. I still do not qualify for YouTube channel memberships. We're still aiming for it, though. We'll get there eventually, hopefully, right? We want to be able to unlock those emotes, right? We want our emotes in chat. They're immensely helpful. But until then, we have got Fourth Wall active. I saw and got mine quick. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Bread. I see it. I see it now. Woohoo! Thank you. Wow, when you said Summer jumped straight to Paladin. Wow. Okay. Sure? Yes. Greatly appreciated. Like, huge. Big thank yous. But yeah, so that is just another way that we have implemented now to actually be able to support the channel and the production of Misthaven things. Because it's necessary at this point now. Because why not? I like seeing stuff and supporting. I appreciate it. I appreciate it so much. Like, seriously. Big thank yous. Sure. The Misthaven family grows, indeed. It does. So, we are slowly but certainly aiming towards sustainability on things. We are obviously still working towards getting the YouTube thing where it needs to be, but in order to get there, we need to have foundations in place, and as such, we are working on all of the things to the best of our ability, right? And one step at a time, we will achieve goals on a bunch of levels. So very, very exciting on that front. And yeah, that is the big new thing that has happened in the last 5 hours. Like, I didn't even know that Fourth Wall had that, like, 5 hours ago, actually. So it was quite a big discovery. And it's quite exciting as well. So how it's going to work for now is that and I just need to get brain to connect with mouth while I'm trying to get scales to do the thing, is that at present the Fourth Wall system only really gives me access to a Discord role, so it will be basically, at this point, anything that would be a quote-unquote member stream happens in the associated Discord voice chat channel at the moment. That's going to be how it's going to work. How much do you actually still need for the YouTube partner thingy? Can't be that much anymore, right? So currently my I am on 320 subscribers. I need that number to be 500 before I can begin to qualify. And watch hours also, I need a couple more watch hours as well, but watch hours are easier to get when you've got enough subscribers. Yeah. There's stuff for that? I was just throwing money at you. No, you get stuff for that. Yeah. I'm not gonna ask you for money for nothing. Here's Dire Straits playing in the background. What? What? A wild sting suddenly starts saying something MTV in the back. What? That was playing in my head. Yeah, I mean, some things are just, you can't avoid them, right? But yes, so what I was trying to say before my brain conked out again is that the Fourth Wall is connected to your Discord roles. So like what we did today, where I was actually working on this in the voice chat on Discord, until further notice, that is going to move to the membership channel, the membership voice channel in the Fort Misthaven server, and it will basically be like members only content in that way for the foreseeable future, until such time as we actually get real channel memberships unlocked via YouTube. So that's a thing. And also, you are going to, as a paladin, Brad, you're also going to get a personal thank you at the end of every stream. I feel like that is one of the easiest and most reliable ways that we can give those who decide to really help the project along to give a thank you, because it is desperately necessary on the regular. Yes, I did steal the idea a little bit from Owlshe. He does the same with his sugar plumies, but it is a really sweet idea. So it's like, although already worth it to be a mental image of a bread roll in the suit of armor. Ah, yes. The armored bread. Now that's a boss fight, it sounds like. Oh no, wait, isn't the armored bread just a bread with a very tough crust? I don't know. Just gonna make that lighter for a bit so that I can actually see what I'm doing. The meme of the guy smacking a loaf of bread with a brick and then showing the brick broke. I've not seen that one. But that sounds absolutely perfect. That sounds absolutely perfect, wow. Okay, so yeah, what I'm currently doing is I'm actually aiming to pretty much have this backlit. Like, mostly backlit. So I'm just kind of roughing our light into place, and then we can do a little bit more rendering with that in a smidge. Okay, how does that work? So far so good. So far so good. Okay. Something like that. That is looking more or less right, yeah. That's looking more or less right. Now over here. I'll drop the shadow from Lark again in just a moment. There we go. Something like that. Okay, and then okay, we're getting there with these scoots again. It's a lot of scoots. It's a lot of scoots. We're scooting in the right direction. We are indeed. It's starting to look shaded. Okay. There's starting to get a little bit of dimensionality in this madness. Okay. Almost got it. Oi. Need to not accidentally do that madness. Okay, that'll help. That'll help to just take away the color for a bit. So now we get the daylight only version. Of events. Undo, undo, undo. Undo, 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 undo. Let me not be on the wrong place. Okay, getting there, getting there. There we go. There we go, there we go. So we've got some cast shadow happening. And Erk. Ow, knee. Now what we can do is we can just tidy that up a little bit. And insinuate a little bit more scale texture over here. Like that. Alright, there we go, there we go. That's starting to look scaly. Without having to draw all of the scales. There we go. Getting places, getting places. Yep, that's looking scaly. That's looking scaly. Without having to draw all of the scales. Nice. Okay, happiness there. Happiness there. Now to add a similar sort of distinction to the slot over here. Okay, there we go, that works. Okay, that works, that works. Now, let's see, top down, what else is gonna be in direct sunlight? You. Maybe not quite so much. Like that-ish. There we go. That looks sufficiently sunlit scaly. I'm happy with that. I am happy with that. Okay. And that is gonna be like so. Yep, that looks lizard. That looks lizard. Cool. So, save. That is gonna be our first bit. And I forgot to set my timer again. Are we surprised? No. But I think it's time for a hydrate. So, everyone, time to acquire our nearest safer consumption beverages and take a sip. Good lizard? Yay! I'm glad, I'm glad. Alright, now we set our timer. There we go. And let me just think very carefully about how I want to do things from here. I want to lock that. Actually just go normal for a moment quickly. Grab that color. Grab that color. Make you lighter. And go back to linear burn. Alright. Now here what I want to do is just a little bit of edge work. In some places, just to make it less, you know, too much. But I think what I want to do is I want to actually grab these again, put our light on, and then just go edit our brightness and contrast, and just dial our brightness up. Cancel? No, because why? I haven't got all of them. I've got it. I had the select thing, not the you, and you, and and you. Edit. Bring it all up. I don't want this shadow to be too deep. There we go. That will work. Now we come over here again and we grab that color and we grab that, whatever that was. Quite bright. There we go. And over here. Just soften that edge. Like that. There we go. Good. So that is the first pass shading on our lizard. Next, what I want to do is I want to go to our glow dodge. I think that's the right one. Yeah. Now what I want to do is add a bit of daylight highlight to this as well. A little bit more scale information over there. What I do think, however, is that I've not got the right color for this highlight. Let's go with dark brown, maybe. Lock. Fill. Not quite. Not that. Fill. Yes, this is the one. This is the color. Okay, this is the color. Yep, this is the color. Okay. So now what we do is just gonna go invert, delete, and invert again, and make sure that I keep this selection on. Just so that I can get that edge. There we go. There we go. Okay. So we're starting to get some shinies on our scales, good and nice and proper. It's starting to look a little bit like we're in an outdoors environment now. With some aft-facing, or not aft-facing, aft-originating is the one I'm looking for. Backlight. Sunlight. Nice and bright. Hi, dog. Please don't. Please don't. Yeah, you're going to. Okay. Let me just open the door for the dog because she is otherwise going to throw. Please. Go. Okay. Get the dog to calm down. There we go. All right. This is getting somewhere. How's this looking in terms of our contrasts? Actually not too bad. Actually not too bad. Wow, okay. Still not too bad, actually. Okay, we're good. We're good, we're good, we're good. I actually think I can leave this with hard edges. I don't think I need to soften these in any way. Like, I kind of like the roughness that I'm getting out of this pen. There we go. Yep, we're starting to get a lot of shape and volume out of this. I am quite happy with that. Shape, volume, that's it. Okay, almost got it. Don't want to go too deep. Like that. And like that. Alright. Almost done. Okay. So that'll do it for that side. Now we do another one for the tail. Let's see. I feel like this bunch can get pulled down a bit. There we go. So now we can get our scales over here. Alex, hello, hello, welcome in. How are you doing? Doing good. Popped over to my dad's for some food and to share it a bit. Oh, that's nice. Did you enjoy it? Yeah, it was a good time? Oh, that's fantastic. That's fantastic. There we go. Okay. So I think that is our shading pass on our lizard set. Now what I want to do is I want to grab that all, put it in a group. Then I want to grab this. And apply some depth. Put this on a normal layer. There we go. So we've got some atmospheric depth. To separate parts. There we go. That works. Nice. That also brings Rem closer to foreground, given he's a bit darker there now. Is this enough though? That's better. That's better. Now we get a real sense of depth out of that. Okay, that's what I was hoping for. Cool. Now we're going to aim for the same thing over here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to see if I can split by the rib. I'm gonna make myself a selection mask. Hold up. So I feel like I'm going to probably need this more than once. Fill. Reduce that. And over here, let's just cut out all of the parts that are supposed to be in this section. Nope. This way. Okay, nearly there, nearly there, nearly there. And that is a hydrate timer. So, everyone, time to acquire our nearest safe for consumption beverages and take a sip. Okay. Let me just get this last 2 bits in there. Okay. And let's go. Like that. And make that normal. And here, reduce that. Maybe not quite so much. Just want to see. Yeah. That's a good distinction. Getting places, getting places. Now, hydrate. Our lizard is working. This atmospheric depth is actually working really, really well. So now what I want to do is I want to make another one of these selection masks for our rib section. And last bit of atmosphere. Just like that. Okay. Now when we do our value check, we've got a nice gradient of depth going from closest to furthest. I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that on our value check. Like, we can see what part of the lizard is now properly close with our values. So I'm really, really happy that that works. Cool. So this is going to be distance. And on the tail, call this distance so that I can keep track of what's going where. Cool. Alright. So that is our lizard functional. Now we need to do before I do the lighting on the characters, I think I want to actually do our background, just so that I make sure that I've got everything tying together nicely. So, let me see what I had in my concept layers, which led up to that madness. That I can use. I want our ground, our sky, and our linear burn. Which sat up there. And this was our sunlight. Which can go. Hide the concept layer. Okay, let's see what we've got going on here. So, let's go and start with our sky. So, we've got our very happy bright blue. We're just going to pull that down and a little bit. And bring in this subtle shade again. I won't lie, I like the black and white look of it. The color mode is really cool as well, but yeah, I know the black and white versions always look like, okay, that looks interesting. Honestly, it's actually quite a vibe. For the ground, what I want to do is I want to put this in a folder, and I'm going to go ground. And now I'm going to go to my textures. And I have a patch of sand, which is an interesting thing that I can use. Grab that and clip that down. Okay, and let's go linear burn on that. Reduce the opacity. I think it might be the part of me that reads a lot of manga. Yeah, I get you. I get you. And let's go free transform here. And clip that down. as well. Just layering textures a little bit. Then we go linear burn. And make provision for our scaly friend. But I want to do that in that color. There we go. Linear burn off. Like that. Okay, and grab our mist color again, and obscure our boundary. There we go. Really want to just make it feel like the lizard is really in this environment here. And then grab this again and just show our characters so that I can also give Rem his shadow and pull him in properly as well. And Vil's shadow will fall approximately there-ish. But it's going to be subtle and very fuzzy on account of height above ground. There we go. But we get a sense of three-dimensional position with those shadows. Okay, we're starting to get somewhere with this. Now, lastly, I want to grab some pure white, which is going to be over there, that one. And grab this, and just... put a little bit of distinction on the edge over here. Alright, there we go. I'm happy with that. And I also forgot to reset my timer. Whoops. There we go. We're making very good progress, actually. Cool. Cool. So now... I'm not actually sure if we're gonna need that linear burn. Maybe, maybe not. Maybe not even, I don't know. But okay, let us now work on characters and character lighting. So we are going to grab our shade color, back to linear burn, come back to our characters, and now we remove everything that is in direct sunlight. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm going to grab everything and hide it. and hide like so. So that I can just see what is light and what is not light. There we go. Like that is good. One. Now this just needs to not be wobbly in shape. There we go. There's going to be a little cord running across the top there because he's going to actually be holding a cord still that I've still got to draw in. It's fine. Now let's just see. Okay, thinking. The shadow that's going to get cast from the wing is not going to reach the thigh here. That's what I wanted to determine in terms of the lighting scenario. But that part of the arm will be under shadow. That works. That works, that works, that works, that works. Now what I want to do is grab that. And over here, just gradient that a little bit. There we go. And then just also add a little bit of texture to this. To imply shape. There we go. And backlighting. All right, almost there. Nope, like that. There we go. The which way is upness of this angle is wild, considering that we are dealing with a character in flight. Okay. Nope. This needs to be blocked off from there. Similarly. Like that. And check that on the flats again. Okay. A lot of visual information happening there. Okay, that works there. Soften a couple of these other lines just a little. There we go. Okay. 2 out of 3. Next, rim. I'm gonna head to bed. Hope the stream keeps going well. Thank you so much for joining us, Alex. I hope you rest. I hope you rest super, super well. I'm gonna keep going until this is finished because the deadline is most tomorrow. So, whoops. It shouldn't be desperately long, I don't think, from now. But thank you so much for joining us. I appreciate it. Best of luck. Thank you. Greatly, greatly appreciated. Okay, there we go. 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 All right. Okay, getting there, getting there, getting there. Next is gonna be... you like that. Okay, that's working on that front. Okay, now where's the next part that we're gonna have light coming in from? There's gonna be a bit like so. right. So far, so good. We are nearing the finish line. So now his face is mostly in the sun. Because he's looking up. All right, and then over here, let's see what we can do about getting the hair to look flowy. Okay, that'll do. So that gives us our upwards sunlight lighting. And that was a hydrate. So everyone, time to acquire our nearest safe for consumption beverages and take a sip. Okay, we're getting places. We're getting places. All right. Now, what I want to do is I want to grab that red, lock opacity, and here on the skin, give that little bit of its scattering, just like that. And I need to still do that. Ooh, I see that. I still need to do a little bit of airbrush work there for lock. As well. Alright, straightforward there. Now we need to, once again, go over here, add our terminators. Back to the hands. Gonna leave them as is. There's not a lot of light exposed skin on Will here. So that's around about the only let's give him his chin a bit as well. Okay. Okay. So with that, if we apply here, that works. Awesome. That works, that works, that works. I do just want to soften this line up, because that's a little bit obvious. Okay. Alright. So now, without the lizard or background, you kind of have a mean template there. Yeah, just a little. Like, this looks like it's about to go into a brawl and then, boop, grr. Technically not wrong, but context is everything. It reminds me of the Final Fantasy 15 one, where the entire party is looking away from the camera out of the car's window. I'm not 100% sure which you're referring to, but I can sort of half picture the scenario you're painting there. I'll grab it. Thank you. Please do. Okay, so now we have our first pass of the shading. Now what I want to do is I want to just add a little bit of before we add distance or anything, any atmospheric distance or any depth to this, I want to add a glow dodge and add our highlights as well. So starting once again from the top, let's just undo that and just grab some appropriate highlights for all of this madness. Which is going to be less on clothing. And more on metal. Okay. Next, I want to not have more than just the uppermost edges on wings here. There we go. Now, at this point, this isn't even working on metallics. This is just absolute strongest point of light impact. From above. Metallics are still coming. Why? Because we still need to actually do our bounce light. Because there's going to be environmental bounce light coming off of the lizard and all of this mist. Okay, but lastly, Getting there. Okay. Okay. Now, yeah, that works. Now what I need to do is hide the flats, hide the background. And now we need to add bounce. Now that is going to be done let's see what we get right here. Don't like that. This is basically a volume bounce / ambient occlusion type thing, sort of. Just giving a little bit of extra roundness to things, basically. Why is it the drawing rim was absurdly easy? Like in his entirety. What on earth is happening? Okay, that looks like it goes together. A little bit of bounce on the inner thigh here from that as well. Just a smidge. And same over here. And same over there. Okay. And now what I want to do is I want to go reflections, and I want to grab that brown, and I actually want to grab a bunch of these and just get a little bit of that environmental context pulled in over there, and like that. Okay, like so. And like so. Just getting the metal to also reflect a bunch of the mist around as well. Which is pretty much going to be the only stuff that will be reflected over here on these big pieces of metal as well. And admittedly a little bit of ground color, so let's put some of that over here. Some ground color for Rem. Alright, there we go. Now what we need to do is grab those and grab our flats, invert, delete, so that we haven't got excess outside of where we want it. Atmosphere. There we go. Tail on. Okay. So now we're going to grab our mist color again. And we're going to add some depth. Why is that breaking all of a sudden? That's why. Okay. Okay, there we go. And on this side, okay, so what we're gonna do here is we're gonna go and just subtly soften that up. This is a mistake. There is a mistake here somewhere. Okay. And value check. That's working. Okay, our value check is working. So now we can at last go into top layer mists. I think we can finally pull those in. Okay. So now we have the main blocks of the picture in. And we can add our final pieces. So this is going to be if G missed. And over here, we were gonna grab a wire. Okay, this we call wire. Lock it. Grab this. There we go. That's someone else's piece of gear that Lark ended up just commandeering. And now, I just want to see... Okay, he does not yet have color actually applied here. So this, what we're gonna do is we're gonna go create an add glow layer. Is this going to be add glow or is this going to be glow dodge? It's going to be both. Undo, undo, undo. There we go. Okay. So extra light source doing its thing. Describe the shape of the metal a bit better. We've almost got this. We are almost there. And now we just want to grab a little bit of white to just give that a core. It's kind of a little bit lost. Let's bring a little bit more of this blue from the sky down a little bit more over here so that we can actually see that light core as well. And let's check our values here. It's something. Now we go add glow. Maybe not that color, ew. Let's try the blue. Oh, it was the blue. Is it gonna be add glow or is it gonna be glow dodge? Neither. Ew. It makes the sky look green. I don't like that. Not liking that. Let's see. How am I gonna do this? Let's do a normal. Something like that. Clip. Reduce that. Okay, so now it's just gotten our lines off of black. Okay, and I want to actually include the same thing on our lizard, so duplicate. Alright, that's pulling us into the scene more. It wants a something. That helps. But just a little bit less. Check our contrasts. The distance on this wing is too much. It's too exaggerated. There we go. That works better. We're almost there. Okay. Now, how much contextual grunge do I want to give this? Practically we are very, very close to done. We're very, very close to done. I just want to see what I can do about a little bit of additional something. There's something that's not quite seated yet in this. That helped. Changing that layer order helped. I think. Did it do anything, actually? No, it didn't. Pull a little bit more warmth into it. Yeah, that helps. And you know what we need? Movement debris. That's what we need. So we're gonna grab an arbitrary color like that. We're gonna grab this. We're gonna go droplet. We're gonna come over here and we're gonna add a little bit of scritch and scatter from over here. And I want some bigger particles in black. On top. Let's give that a motion blur. Just makes it feel like things are actually moving a little bit. There we go. Okay. And now we go to our final passes, which is going to be a merge visible to new layer. Followed by... Yes, save the recovery information. That's maybe a good idea, please and thank you. As well as actually hitting the save button. Good idea at this point. Good idea at this point. Then, filter. Effect. Let's do not quite that drastic. Okay. It's subtle, but it's there. That's good. And then a little bit of texture over the top. And you know what? I think we're done. I think we've finished it. No, we haven't finished it. Oh no, we have not finished it. Because you know why? I need to just hide those two. Because I forgot the Misthaven emblem that needs to be on Vol and Rem's centerpieces on their breastplates. That would not do, so scale, rotate, make it tiny. Okay, and duplicate it and put the second one down here. Alright. And free transform. There we go. Okay, that's that one. And this one. Okay. So then those two merge down. Give it the tiniest little bit of a blur just to soften those edges and make it look part of the actual thing. Do a minor correction over here because that did not end up in the right place. There we go. And over here, trim that down. Good. Good, 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 good. And now we go. Merge visible to new layer. And we do our chromatic aberration centered on our lizard's eye. Yep, that's good. And put on our texture again. And methinks we are done. Methinks we're done. I think we finished it. Ooh-wee. Like, the soft lighting for a battle scenario is a strange choice, I think, a little bit. But it's also very, very, very on theme for being, you know, Mist Haven. Mist does one thing very well, and that's diffuse light. And yeah, I think we've got it. Like, I could, but I won't. Add a little bit of blood and grunge to the lizard, but I don't know if that's going to break the rules of the art challenge. And being literally, the deadline is now officially in my time zone today. I'm gonna leave it as is. So, yeah. And it's a little too late to ask the question. So, on the side of caution. But all things considered, I think that went pretty well. What did you guys think? Did you enjoy this? It was a bit of a different vibe. But it's fun. I like doing this sort of picture. I am partially shocked that we managed to get this done like this day. Oh, you know what? We are, in fact, once again, still not done. Chromatic aberration away again. You know why? Because our tail is actually still too sharp focus. Duplicate the tail. Merge selected. What I wanted to do was I wanted to go filter, blur, radial. From there, very low strength. No, not radial, cancel. wanted was a spin blow, not a radial blow. Nope, I don't like that either. There we go. Okay, now seriously, perfect is now the enemy of good. Merge visible to new layer, do our chromatic aberration, and then it's done. There we go. Calling it. And you did amazing work. Thank you. Thank you. There we go. Save button. Save button. And hydrate. So everyone, let's acquire our nearest safe for consumption beverages. And take a sip. Okay. Come on. Save, please and thank you. Do the thing. And let's just see. How did that pan out? This is the 60-second version. We're getting the summary, speed summary. That's where we started yesterday. That was where we started today. And there we have it. The 60-second one does cut out quite a bit of information, but considering that we are looking at what? 12 hours of work in total? 12? Only 12? Wow. Okay, that's less than I was anticipating. For what is essentially 4 full body characters. That's not bad. It's a 4 full body character illustration. So yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy that went well. That went well. Woohoo! All right. Whew, and there we go. Everyone, thank you so much. We have achieved the goal of the day, which was to actually manage to finish our challenge entry. For the amount of meat per square inch of canvas, this is one of your beefiest works. This was true. This is actually true. There is a lot of character. We have not actually had very many multi-character illustrations here yet. And this sort of thing was a really fun one to do. Like, I love doing combat scenes. They're fun. You can get things blurring nicely and so on, and it's like it's just fun to work on. But yes, we have not actually had very many multi-character illustrations to work on previously. But it was a really lot of fun. There is another way that I could read that comment, but I'm going to choose not to. I guess. But yeah, I really had fun with this one. You read it properly. Yeah. I thought there are multiple ways that I can interpret this one. I'm going to assume it's that one. Lots of characters in a really cool fight scene. Yeah. And I think legitimately a little bit more than half of the canvas is covered in character as well. If I had to kind of cut everyone out and squeeze them in on one side to see, okay, what's the approximate percentage of canvas covered by character. But it was really, really fun. I'd like to do more of that sort of a thing as far as illustration goes, because it's just, it just moves nicely. But thank you for indulging me on being able to keep up the commitment that I made to myself in terms of doing the art challenges. Everyone get close to the lizard, we need to check for stats. I know, right? Like, if I kind of visualize squeezing Rem in underneath the throat there, and slot Vil in there next to Lark in the top left corner, it works out that way. It just works out that way. That's like just more than half the canvas. And that given that the lizard has all of the overlaps. If the lizard did not have all of the overlaps, it would be even more. It would be so much more. Like, if the lizard did not, in fact, overlap itself in 1, 2, 3 places, we would literally have the lizard only covering half of the page. So yeah, it was a piece. It was a piece, and I hope that those of us who are going to see it for the first time later when I post it are going to enjoy it as well. So thank you guys for letting me do the thing, and kind of show a little bit of what being a member of the Mist God includes. The sort of environment that we do it in, and, well, at least one canon person's, where you can expect to find him most of the time, right in the thick of it. In terms of asking how he managed to get that grapple where he did, yeah, he's got practice. Let's just phrase it that way. He's got practice with dealing with the beasties more so than a great many other people. But yeah, I have announced on my Discord, and I'm going to just reiterate it here for anyone who is not there yet. Please do. That new things have happened. New things have happened in the course of the last 5 hours. What's the job application? Must be punctual and able to wrestle a 40-foot-long lizard monster. Yes! That is helpful. That is helpful. Very, very, very helpful. And 40 feet is probably a pretty good estimate of this thing's actual length. Wow. I didn't think of that. But yeah, so I announced it in the Discord, but for anyone who is joining in new or in the VOD squad or not part of the Discord, we have now got channel memberships. It's not part of YouTube, but part of Fourth Wall, which is our merch and voice workshop that I've got. In the absence of qualifying for YouTube partner yet, I have opted to allocate the membership type of system to Fourth Wall so that we can keep our Ko-fi goal ticking over towards the Ko-fi goal. But if you'd like to support me in being able to continue to make cool stuff outside of commission work, things like this, which generally speaking are cool, but maybe not necessarily for anyone specific, and also part of Project Misthaven, which is kind of my big thing at the moment. Then if you would like to be able to support on that front, then you can now do so via memberships through Fourth Wall. The link to Fourth Wall is available on my YouTube channel page, as well as in my link tree, if that is easier to find for you. And yes, the reason why I mentioned the Discord in conjunction with that is because at the moment, because I don't have a YouTube partner, membership content is not going to actually be on YouTube, right? Firstly, it's all going to be unarchived because I do not have recording enabled on Discord in any way, shape, or form. Ideally, hopefully, it doesn't actually capture stuff. Please don't screen record members' content, right? But what we will do is, in the absence of YouTube members' space at this time, we will be using the members' voice chat stream channel to do streams like where I am working on offline commission work, like the things that I can't put on YouTube, like the reference sheets and VTubers where the clothing is not yet applied, or additional work that's just outside of streaming hours. We will sit in that VC. It's very casual. I am on mute for that entire duration. So you can continue on with your day as normal, basically. But if you want to have a peek through what is happening on screen, you can. And there is a chat available in that front as well. There is also a members channel. I will also be putting together a secret channel that I don't touch for you guys as well. That's the next thing that I need to do, so that if you guys want to talk about stuff that you don't necessarily want me to see, you have a space to do so too. Those are all things that I'm going to be implementing in the course of the next 24 hours as well. And yes, it is a little bit of a change, but it is a necessary one, I think. I have no idea how exactly long it might take for us to actually achieve the YouTube membership. I'm hoping that we can still get there. Okay, so hoping to say, can we get there before the end of this year? I'm not gonna make that goal, because it's a difficult thing. We can coordinate surprises. If you want to, I won't be opposed. But if you want to, I would that would be fun. But yeah, or if you'd want to just have a couple of inside members jokes as well and such, then if you have a membership via Fourth Wall, you will get the either Mistling, Skirmisher, or Paladin tier role. And the reason for the 3 different tiers is basically, while you're still getting access to more or less the same things, it's just basically, but depending on your means, to have options for what you are willing to contribute to being able to continue doing the cool stuff. We've got a place to scatter, and Rhea comes in and turns on the lights like cockroaches. Oh boy, yeah, okay, Braid. If you want to play Roach, so yeah, it's just so that I can give you guys a couple of options on that front. I am still looking for that one little extra something something to distinguish the skirmishers from the paladins a little bit more. But for now, the skirmishers and the paladins are pretty close. In that, in both cases, you're not just helping keep the lights on, but you're also actually helping be able to have the breathing room to spend more time working on Misthaven things. So while sponsored hours on VGen are still going to be a thing for the foreseeable future, over time, as we get there, we're going to migrate that all to the Fourth Wall channel memberships and to eventually, hopefully, the madness that is YouTube partner eventually. And yes, I sincerely hope that you enjoy the journey alongside me for that. I really, really, really appreciate all of the support that's been going into this. We are aiming for just not being in a state of perpetual panic financially. That's basically what we're aiming for at this point in the fight. I think it is probably wise that I reiterate this, but this is my day job, okay? Doing commissions and the streaming thing is literally all that I can do, right? And on a monthly basis, what I actually manage to earn presently is not enough, not by long and a ways. I like I mentioned yesterday as well, presently 3/5 of my income on a monthly basis goes into just keeping the roof over my head, which is obviously not sustainable at all. So that's why I'm starting to push now rather significantly. The pressure is on a lot of fronts in my iteration of reality, to be able to keep on existing, basically, because there is no plan B. Employment is not an option in my IRL circumstance in any way, shape, or form. Because several reasons, but none of them stream safe, let's phrase it that way. And as such, this is literally my only option. So seriously, the support is unarticulately appreciated. And I know I'm sounding a little bit like a broken record at the moment, but Tacky is hitting the tar on a couple of fronts IRL, and I can't afford to not mention it anymore. Fun time is over. I've now got to actually get this thing working. Right? So I am working towards having more stuff that I can share and post about, blah. And not feel like I am begging for it, but that any engagement and what have you is actually earned. The social media game, which leads us to actual channel growth and so on, is not my strong suit. But we will do our best to get better at that. We'll do our best to get better at that. I don't know if I need to... I don't know what I need to do to summon visibility, but yeah. I'll figure it out. Like, I don't know. I haven't got the sort of... I've got the dumbs, but not the sort of dumbs that let me have funny dumbs on social media, if that makes sense. That generally attracts people. and I try not to commentate on things that I find sensitive and inflammatory. So, the nature of the social media beast loves inflammatory, and that is a little bit not my speed, if at all possible, like, not my speed. So finding a way to have something to share that is valuable and interesting and people actually care, it's tricksy, but we're getting there. At this point, I half want to do at the very least, post a black and white sketch every week type thing, for now, because the prolificness of the art has been abysmal, as well, in terms of I'm doing a lot of work, but not a lot of it ends up in something that I can post. And that is also a major challenge, so I need to actively come up with something on that front. And it's a lot of rambling about things that I need to do. But yeah, just trying to get my head screwed on straight. And hopefully with all of that, we'll be able to have fun, get places, and if all else fails, continue working on getting commissions in and staying alive. If all else fails, staying alive is a good idea. Staying alive is goals. Staying alive is goals. So, I am gonna love and leave you for today, because otherwise, tomorrow is going to be pain, and I shall see you again on Monday. Gotta stay alive first. Good luck out there. Thank you. Thank you. Yes. I apologize if I had a little bit of an air about me today. There was... There was vibes. In IRL stuff that might have rubbed off, and that is... difficult to completely erase. I tried, but if you notice that, I apologize. I am trying, but we do our best. In any case, thank you guys. Rest well. I shall see you all around, and I should probably come up with a better way of doing this, but big thank yous to our first member and our first paladin, Eldritch Bread. Thank you so much for being a member and a supporter of the channel. It is greatly appreciated. And yes, very happy. With great pleasure I say this. First! Thank you. Greatly appreciated. So, have fun out there. Rest well when you get to it. And until next time, everyone, good night.